You have to jump even higher this time.
Yeah. You didn't jump high enough.
Didn't jump
Brian.
Come on, Brian. Brian? That's
because yesterday you called him Brian.
That's wonderful.
We've been teasing him about it.
okay. We're good? Okay. Vertex Recipe. Is that what it says? That is what it says. So this is a puzzle that comes from a very basic concept in graph theory of how many things any certain point is connected to. So if I have something, I can connect it to a certain number of points. We say this is connected to two things. This is connected to one thing. This is connected to one thing. And there is a question of if you just give me the sequence 2, 1, 1, can I make a graph? Can I make a drawing that satisfies this sequence? So the way we usually present this is we draw a bunch of people. Sometimes we'll start off with little stick figures, and then we'll just reduce them to heads because we don't want the kids to be bogged down with drawing too much. But we'll start off with some stick figures, and we'll give them names. What we like to do is outreach people is I like to ask for the kid's name and then purposely spell it wrong because
Gordon.
Gordon.
My name's Gordon.
All right. Your name is.
And I want 3 friends.
You want 3 friends?
3 friends.
All right.
Gordon.
We'll have 3 friends for Brian. And let's see. And it doesn't have to be related to the name that they said at all. The reason I started off with this was because I was worried about misspelling someone's name, and so I thought it'd be just wonderful if I could just accidentally misspell everyone's name. And
so I think the first one that you tried it on was someone said Aiden, and then you went A-I-D-E-N or something like crazy.
Yeah, just absolutely.
And I was just thinking,
ridiculous.
And he had the class in stitches of laughter. So it was just wonderful.
I've had kids named absolutely I've had a kid where I was like, is it race car? I'm like, I don't know. So yeah, we'll put race car over here.
Yeah. I forgot what the real kid's name was.
See, that's the thing is I don't know any of these kids' names.
I know. But it was so funny. The kids lapped this up.
Jerry. And then I'm seeing race car and I'm thinking of raccoon. I don't know.
Okay.
One time I went to a French immersion class, and so I picked a bunch of French names as well. You can really suit this to whichever audience that you're going for. So then you ask the kids.
Let's have Geneviève too. What would you have for Geneviève?
Oh,
you have to misspell the name.
That was my Jerry.
This was Jerry, I believe.
Okay,
yes.
But one of the things that I think you also did brilliantly was that you gave an impossible sequence at the start.
Mm-hmm.
And again, what we're trying to do at the start is to engage kids. And kids are much more engaged with a communal failure than a communal success. Mm-hmm. So you can keep on asking for additional people to contribute here until you get to a point here that it's going to be a fail. So let's say that race car said, you can make this into something impossible.
So maybe race car said they wanted 2 friends instead of 1 friend.
Okay.
And of course, if you're a teacher, it's harder for you to get this kind of engagement because you can't misspell your kids' names, right? They're going to be a bit more offended if that happens.
Yeah.
But then you can just ask them, name this person or name this person. And that gets similar things, I would imagine.
Yeah.
So then you just ask the kids to pair people up. They like making sure everyone has at least 1 friend. And so maybe, Genevieve, do you want to pair people up? Pair 2 of these people together.
Okay, I'll do Brian and Raccoon.
Okay.
And then you would ask another person.
Gord, will you like to pair 2 people together?
Pair up. I want to be a friend with Brian.
All right.
And I want to be a friend.
Whoa. You get 1 at a time.
Oh, 1 at a time.
You can't choose all the friends first.
So this person already has enough friends, right? This person only wants 1 friend, and they have enough friends. This one needs a friend, this one needs a friend.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make them friends.
That's
Um,
right.
Okay, and now,
Yay!
Cord, do you
we
want to?
succeeded. Yay!
No.
Yay,
Wait, Brian
we've
needs
done
a
it.
friend.
No.
Brian needs a friend. You need to give Brian a friend.
Darn it. So always be the clown, be a little bit slower than the other kids. They're going to be, whenever you're celebrating, yeah, we've done it. And of course the kids are going to be sharing among themselves, no, you haven't. And you just keep on, yeah, we did it, right? Like, so you're always on the slower side. And yeah, right here, what do I do with Brian? Poor Brian. He doesn't have enough friends. He wants 3, he doesn't have 3. Like, I can't, can I do that?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
No,
I can't
no.
because
Oh, I see.
only wants 1
Oh
friend.
my goodness.
So,
Cord.
yeah,
That doesn't
so
work.
this is an example of a failure. And this was a communal failure by the classroom. A wonderful way to engage. And then whenever the kids break off, that's the time. They're breaking off into pairs. That's the time that they're going to experience successes and failures. You can have a mix of degree sequences. So you put a
Yeah.
bunch of degree sequences on the board.
Yeah.
And some of these are possible. Some of these are impossible.
There's a lot of really nice looking ones that are impossible, and there's a lot of really like nasty looking ones that are completely possible, which is wonderful. Like if you ever have like just a sequence that's just counting down, you know, from n to 1, right? That's going to be impossible because there's not going to be enough people. But this is something that the kids can
why
explore
wouldn't this be
on their
enough?
own,
4, 3, 2, 1.
right? So this wouldn't be
the
enough.
the 4 person only has 3 other people that they can make friends. That's
Yeah.
why 4, 3, 2, 1 doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
It also is a wonderful puzzle because there are big patterns that you can find. For example, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Whenever you're dealing with grade 2 humor, repeating stuff endlessly is hilarious. Okay, this is not humor that translates very well into adulthood, but 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 is a, and you can get the kids to, is that possible or not? And how do you solve that? Well, you first of all say, well, is 2 2 possible? Is 2 2 2 possible? Is 2 2 2 2 possible? So you can build up a pattern of, I understand how this pattern works, and yes, I can predict that any sequence of 2s, no matter how long, is possible.
And I've gotten high engagement with this activity, giving like really long, complicated things like this, and just asking the class to vote and like try to debate on whether they think it's possible or not. And you'll get a lot of people who are saying, "Oh, this is impossible," or "This is possible," and then you can like try to do it as a class. And I'll tell you ahead of time, this one is possible.
I don't believe you.
Okay.
I think you're lying.
Okay. Well, you'll have to. Do you want to try doing it, or do you
No.
want to? Okay.
No.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So if you're going into the classroom with another person, it's really fun to bounce off them, to disagree with them publicly in the classroom. This is wonderful. Okay?
Yeah.
Now that's a luxury that you're very rarely going to have, but it is really fun. Good. Anything else?
I think that, I honestly, I would love to write like a whole big thing about like what are good sequences that are for like failures and what are good sequences for successes, because you can have like really simple things like this that are failures and very complicated things that are successes. And there's like some nice algorithms that like kids can discover on how to test whether one works or doesn't work if you want to make like a whole lesson about it.
That would be very good.
There's a lot of like it's a very rich thing.
Because teachers won't have the time
to
come up with these sequences, right?
Yeah.
They just want to engage the students with it.
Yeah. So whenever you look at the PDF attached to this document, Jeremiah and I are going to work on that together sometime in the future, and it will come with a list of sequences that Jeremiah is recommending. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Good. A big thank you to Nancy Blackman and the Patreon supporters of Math Pickle for funding the videographer of this video series. Also, thank you to
Geneviève Boulet from the Faculty of Education, Mount St. Vincent University, and the graduate students, Lynn and Daniel and Jeremiah, who were part of this